My name is Erica Lorraine Spencer, and I remain subject to state surveillance and terrorism by the state of California that is operating a malicious targeting system which is referred to as federal group stalking and monitoring via communication devices. And it is in violation of federal stalking statute 18 U.S.C. sections 2261A subsections 1 and 2. My website and podcast serve the public good by publishing evidence of the public entity's ceaseless engagement in a pattern of conduct intended to stalk and monitor via communication devices, surveil, harass, and terrorize an American citizen in concert with the people of the state of California. Documentation serves the lawful purposes of wide exposure, federal prosecution, and influencing federal legislation with policies specifically designed to punish, dismantle, and disincentivize an unprecedented targeting system by a public entity that acts in concert with the people of the state in order to criminally place under surveillance and terrorize an American citizen, which is a matter of public corruption in the state of California. See thepatternofconduct.wordpress.com.
BSDN A77 6XXT119 6W53229 6YOX838 7CVF583 7RXZ919. This demon directed light inside of the car while they're crossing path. License 8JZG293. They're crossing path on the street where this vehicle that I'm inside of, the fake sun is right over the vehicle, over 60 North Fern, where the Ontario police are flying over in circles in helicopter for 12 minutes, where the Ontario police are surrounding the vehicle, aiming light inside of the car. This is the same location where the fake sun is present. I took pictures of this directed light inside of the vehicle at 7:31 in the morning. This is where demons are driving by the vehicle and directed light is hitting the glove compartment box, aiming light inside of the car. The people of the state monitoring on video with the Ontario Police Department at 630 North Fern, and their license plates are 7KHJ732 24490K1. And they are going to federal prison, as I stated in that video. They're monitoring, molesting, using light to aim inside of the car to molest and harass. It's a method of monitoring, stalking with light. This demon is over here monitoring under the fake sun, which is nowhere near the museum, by the way, of History and Arts, where the entity's keeping the fake sun over that museum, aiming light under the side of the museum that I slept on, while I'm at the same time in a vehicle outside of 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, and the entity's aiming directed light inside of that vehicle. Into the depths where my feet are on the glove compartment on the passenger side. This is impossible light, stalking with a fake sun, and so is this demon 8RSU437. And they're doing so with the Ontario police, who are stalking in helicopter over here where I'm in a vehicle, who are stalking, using their vehicles, aiming light inside of the car with flashlights, a bunch of demons. This is a demon as well, 8RSU437. And they're right under the fake sun, which I just took a picture of, stalking in the path. It's 8:04 a.m. The Ontario International Airport flying airplanes over Fern Avenue on the street that I'm at, amplifying plane engines. Planes are not taking off over Fern Avenue. The Ontario International Airport is using planes. It's a stalker, a group stalker, and uses commercial airline planes. These are demons flying planes hovering over the street that I'm on, where all of that environment is present, where the entity is stalking by police and a bunch of demon-possessed third parties that are the people of the state. License 5FYU793 7GJV821. Stalking with this demon, 8RSU437, at the same time that the Ontario International Airport is flying a plane. That's exactly what's going on. That's concerted activity, and that's why he's going to federal prison. That's why I read his license plate. He's monitoring in relevant position while demons drive by the vehicle, knowing that I'm awake, knowing that I'm up. And this is why impossible light activity is flashing on the inside of the car, which is exactly what those demons were doing last night as I read those two license plates. After the entity flew over the vehicle for 10, that is the Ontario police, flew over the car in a circle in a helicopter for 12 minutes. Then these demons were stalking in the middle of the street, aiming lights. This is what the entity was doing all night last night. License 5VOP758 6WYZ543 3EGA485. 8ZTG782. C8JHZ975. Union Pacific, also impossible audible activity, the sound of a train. Union Pacific is a group stalker. 7SKM300. It's 8:06 a.m. 7SAZ738 and directed light all across 325 West G Street as that demon crosses path and drives onto G Street from Fern Avenue. And I've shown you video of what is directed light, stationary directed light on the house that is the surface of 325 West G Street while walking down the street. The fake sun is over my head, and you're seeing a large patch of directed light on that venue. This is the same venue where the Ontario police are stalking, flying in circles over the vehicle that I'm inside of, surrounding the vehicle with demons that are the same police department stalking with flashlights. 325 West G Street was monitoring last night as well. This is also the same venue where I've captured that same, again, directed light. You have a demon that's driving on the street and directed light aiming onto that same venue. This is a very specific system, okay? A bunch of demons stalking. And this is the identification of those who are going to go to federal prison for that as well. All right? You have an impossible recurring series of events. 6BJN436, repeating that. And that's why they can go to federal prison just as well. All right? In the same way, the entity is obsessed with stalking me with helicopters, and by obsessed, I mean that. That's why they do it every day, every night. That's why they do it everywhere that I'm going. That's why they do it even as I reveal the fact they're secret, because no government wants it to be known that they're stalking American citizens in helicopters, and that's fully publicized information. And they do it more as I document it. 8GEN577, a demon. Directed light across the gates and on the streets while they drive by. They're stalking with light. Now, what are they doing when I'm inside of the car? They're aiming it inside of the vehicle. What are they doing when I'm on the bus? As I've shown you on video, aiming it onto the bus, the roofs of the bus, dynamic directed light demons that know exactly who I am, where I'm located on the bus, where I'm located in the car, what I'm doing as I wake up, if I move. These are demons. This is Satan. This is demon possession. This is stalking in demonic methods with what is light, relevant for what is criminal surveillance. Okay, that's what's relevant to that. Not only the identification of their condition. These are demons that are stalking me, know exactly where I'm at, what I'm doing. That's why you have directed lighting inside of a car at the same time that a demon is driving a vehicle past it on the street. This is why you have what is not possibly the sun over the house of 630 North Fern, who was group stalking with the Ontario police last night, molesting with the Ontario police, who literally for over an hour were walking around in circles, pacing all around this vehicle, aiming flashlights inside of the car until I finally just captured video of it. All right, and then you have what is those third-party license plates. They're part of the same entity. They are part of the same criminal conduct, demonic activity, which is terrorism, while an entity is stalking me while I'm in a vehicle. Okay? That is no reflection on the target individual, by the way. This is an entity that is making me that much of a priority. If I'm sleeping outside, guess what they're doing? They're stalking me. If I'm sleeping in a vehicle outside, guess what they're doing? They're stalking me. Guess what? When I'm in the bathroom and my panties are down, guess what they're doing? They're stalking me. Okay, it is currently 8:10 a.m. It's Saturday, June 25th, 2022. This is P.O.C. Oh, here's another demon, license 8VSP411, monitoring with 325 West G Street. That's why directed light is moving all across that house. All right, so you're talking about what is the federal imprisonment. You're talking about the prosecution of minions that live in relevant position while I'm outside, and I'm witnessing this system where demons have no shelter from a prosecution where they live. It's the identification of a venue, facilitation of the state's ability to place another under surveillance, which the government has no right to do while you're sleeping outside, while you're inside of any public building, while you're inside of any private residence. Again, under the facts of federal stalking, it's nothing other than a facilitating venue. 325 West G Street is going to federal prison for that. What I captured on video, they're monitoring with the Ontario police. All right. And they're doing so at a very easily identified location where they live. License 6JXB745, the same. License, 630 North Fern, directed light on their venue, and directed light across the venues of these houses, which are third-party facilitating venues, which, again, this is the same thing, like I was stating, inside of the car, on a bus, inside of a library, whatever city that I'm in, walking on the sidewalk, whatever building that I'm standing by. This is stalking with light. That's what demons do. And this is a demon-possessed population. Again, that's why you have what is an impossible occurrence happening with it doesn't matter what type of car they're in. It doesn't matter what they look like, how old they are. It doesn't matter what they are doing. It's the same exact conduct in a very specific environment. This isn't even the natural environment. This is revealing what is a massive population of demon-possessed people who are engaging in what is stalking together. And that includes what is revealing the corruption of demon-possessed police agencies, such as the Ontario Police Department. Demon-possessed venues such as the Ontario International Airport, engaging in state surveillance. This is what the demon-possessed are consumed with, placing others under surveillance that are not of that condition. That's why I'm being targeted, because I don't serve Satan. Satan cannot touch me. I am the focus, all right? And Satan likes to surround with, including in bathrooms. That's why Satan is a sex offender. And I'm identifying Satan by license plate 6YOX838, all right? Monitoring with the people of the state, monitoring with the police departments. All righty, this is P.O.C. I just want to document that as I'm documenting the entity that's relevant to how 325 West G Street, the children that live in that residence with that demon-possessed, that's the entity that lives at 325 West G Street in Ontario, California, engaging in terrorism. As I'm standing outside, having a right to not be subject to it, the federal government will reach into that venue and prosecute. Okay, like I said, this is state surveillance that's identified at 325 West G Street with the license plate 6YOX838. That's the system of group stalking, and that is breaking that whole system down. And those are people with names that you can identify to be prosecuted on behalf of the state while they're group stalking with the state, terrorizing with the state, and doing so enabling the people of the state. They're demons that act as one with knowledge of the fact that they're being documented. And so that's speaking to impunity. 8:13 a.m. P.O.C. All right, these demons that know exactly what I'm doing inside of a car, where I'm sitting on a bus, where I'm located inside of a venue, stalking with directed light, or stalking in the bathroom. So, all right, that's why I'm going to make sure I specify about Panera Bread, in particular, monitoring American citizens and doing so in a private space, POC. Looking at impossible light activity inside of Panera Bread. On the inside, you're looking at group stalking. Group stalking basics. Let me show you underneath this shaded outside the window. Hold on. Alrighty, that is documentation of what is federal stalking by an entity in the bathroom and the private space. A bunch of demons aware of what you're doing with regard to your panties, engaged in private activity, and what is a private space where no government or other person, let alone an entity, has any business or legal right to invade your privacy in such an unprecedented manner. That's exactly what Panera Bread, representing the people of the state, is engaged in, because that's why the fake sun is directly over my head at this Panera Bread, and that's why you have what is also inexplicable directed light, because that's what directed light is. It's inexplicable light. It's light that is not in any way explainable, reconcilable with what is the presence of also a fake sun. These are distinct methods of stalking with light. When you're placed under surveillance by, again, these are demonic tactics. It's revealing a condition, which is demon possession. These are demons that are in here stalking with children, engaging in criminal conduct with children, stalking, creating activity, that is criminal monitoring with children, engaging in what is sexually violent monitoring, surveillance, stalking in a bathroom with children, via children. Having your little demon-possessed children run around in directed light is monitoring another person, doing so while you're engaged in what is sexually violent monitoring while the target individual is in a bathroom, physically indisposed, genitalia exposed, private activity underway. They're doing so in what is direct light and under the fake sun. And so I did show you what is the inside and outside of this venue, and that's how you're identifying what are a bunch of demons that are Panera Bread, where you probably eat every day, every morning before you go to work, in the middle of the day during your lunch break. And you need to know that Panera Bread is monitoring, just like every other form of what is the demon-possessed entity, the state of California, by the way, that is placing American citizens under surveillance, and it's satanic. It's entirely satanic, and that's what Panera Bread will not include in their commercials. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. This is surveillance, state stalking, terrorism at the Panera Bread in Rancho Cucamonga. It's 9:10 a.m. Alrighty, showing you what is, again, the same pattern of what is demon possession. This is the behavior, this is the setting, this is the criminal monitoring system of the demon-possessed, all right? And this is the knowledge of their condition, the ongoing pattern of an environment that is ubiquitously present everywhere that you're going. And this is while I am in Rancho Cucamonga, and I am sitting inside of the building. I am sitting what is near a window that has there's a covering over the window. It's impossible light. And also, again, sunlight does not shoot horizontally through windows. If you've never paid attention to your environment, this is not sunlight. But in addition to that, the window has a freaking cover over it. And it is extended out. And this is absolutely no light would appear inside. No concentrated light would appear inside. These are demons who are pacing. That's what you're understanding. This is how demonic pacing is identified. The distinction between normal people and demon-possessed individuals who are pacing around you in the engineered light. The same exact pattern of conduct. And that's what you're looking at while I'm sitting at the table. I'm taking a picture, as you can see out the window. You can see these two, I'm assuming they're foreign, they're speaking foreign language. It's audible activity creation, by the way. And they're doing so in directed light. And those demons sit down, that is cross paths, sitting in that engineer light right behind me as I turn on one of my phones. And as I do that, they sit down and then they begin conversation. It's audible activity creation, it's demonic pacing. And you see the rest of them that are sitting around in relevant position in that directed light. The fake sun is over Panera Bread, as I captured upon my arrival, and as I also captured as I stepped outside to show you the inside and outside of this window where an engineer light is on the floor, on the table, on my jacket, on my person. That's how you're prosecuting the demon-possessed entity. The state of California, the people of the state, as a sex offender that is obsessively touching you all the time with this engineered light, which is a means of surveillance. All right, they're monitoring with communication devices. And then you're also looking at their position, sitting around as though they're focused on reading, or they're sleeping, all right, or they're concentrating on their child, or they're deep into a conversation, and you're looking at that environment, and this is how you're understanding what is the psychopath that is Satan. This is a demon-possessed population that is entirely focused on you, and these are demons that are doing so, and that is the irreconcilable evidence of it. That is the high level of malice that is group stalking, that is practiced by state and the people of the state. And this is the entity that's acting directly and vicariously. And that is what Panera Bread is, a vicarious actor, a group stalker. That's why directed light, that's why the fake sun is present. And this is also the case at what is, again, 9:25 in the morning. And this is never coexisting. It is impossible that the sun is over the side of the Ovid Family Community Library. Just one example of tons and tons and tons, as I've been documenting the pattern of conduct for years. And that is not the sun that's hovering over the top of my head while I'm on the side of the Ovid Family Community Library at 215 E.C. Street, where I remain both before, during, and after this time until the Ovid Family Community Library opens. And the entity is also then aiming what is directed light on the elevator, on the staircase, while you're looking at demons pacing. It is the pattern of conduct. All right, it is a system of group stalking. Group stalking is satanic. So this is the understanding of what is very real, and that is demonic activity. And it is happening inside of any church. It's happening inside of any police station, sheriff's department, your local mall, your Panera Bread, your Starbucks, on the freeway. Demons pacing around in engineered light under the fake sun. This is what is the system of group stalking. It is what is demonic activity. All right. It is P.O.C. I just wanted to break that down. I took images of that, and that's how you're looking at what is the same exact conduct. They're demons that are pacing around. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. Woodside Senior Apartments is monitoring. License 1409336, which is City of Ontario. Crime scene, that's the Ontario Police Department. And monitoring with the Ontario Police, sitting in the street with their hazards on, stalking with light. This is Woodside Senior Apartments, the whole community. But let me give you these third parties. 8GTX018, Federal Prison. 7WON118, Federal Prison. They're stalking with light. The fake sun is right here over me while I'm crossing path at Woodside Senior Apartments. And they're the same demons monitoring while directed light is moving all across the surfaces, as I stated. The entity's fake sun is over me while the Ontario police are crossing path. These demons are stalking with light activity. License 8PTM 397, Federal Prison. License plate. Can't say that one. 8MOA 163, Federal Prison. That's why the Ontario police are driving by me as I'm walking outside. They know exactly where I'm at. 8RDD 571. That's exactly what, Federal Prison. Everyone that I'm reading license plates, they're stalking right now with the police. That's why demons are driving by and directed light is aiming inside of the car. All right, this is surveillance by a demon-possessed agency, the Ontario Police Department, who follows me day and night in helicopters and knows exactly what I'm doing. That's why they're driving by right now as the fake sun is over, directed light is present. Monitoring with 325 West G Street, Federal Prison. Okay, 630 North Fern Avenue in Ontario, California, Federal Prison. 4TKY 995, just as I shown in video. And you see them outside at 630 North Fern monitoring. They're engaged in ongoing surveillance. And you go to federal prison for that. That's how you're prosecuting group stalking. 7HWM 986. Ontario Police Department monitoring with 711 at 636 North Vine Avenue. It is currently 8:16 a.m. Directed light while this demon is parking in a parking spot. Stalking. 7B PJ 062. 0754983. Aaron's. This little four-eyed dweeb is over here being a sex offender, molesting with directed light while the entity is amplifying plane activity. Demons, whose license plate I read, molesting with direct light inside of the 7-Eleven at 636 North Fern. So I want you to, you hear that audible activity? He's monitoring with communication device. He's group stalking with the Ontario Police. And that is Aaron's Furniture also, 0754983. And the fake sign is directly over the 7-Eleven. I did walk out and capturing images of this group stalker working at the 7-Eleven. License 3UCN001, AJVM 439, 8RIV 101, 7ESH978, 8UQK949. They're all monitoring together. They literally park in the parking lot, directed light all over the place. They're stalking. They walk in the 7-Eleven, they walk out, and then as they drive out of the parking lot, their objective is to, again, touch and molest, surround with directed light. That's what they're doing. They're stalking as I go from place to place. They walk out of the 7-Eleven on surveillance cameras, by the way, and then they are molesting with directed light as I'm preparing to walk out of the 7-Eleven, which is the objective of why they are there. This is why it doesn't matter if you purchase something. Your purchase is a proof of presence. 7ZGW001. Federal prison. Federal prison license plate 8N43777. Because they're stalking with the Ontario Police Department, who is maintaining presence literally as I step out of the vehicle. License 6TMG904. And it is the 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine Avenue in Ontario, California, where this same venue, the people that stayed engaged in kidnapping on January 13, 2020, that's the same 7-Eleven that is to this day still engaging in that criminal surveillance, that terrorism with the Ontario Police Department. It is, again, 8:25 a.m. 77234A1, LS007, 6B02430. 6YYK430, 8SOH672, 52103N2, 6RBJ141, 85108F3, excuse me, 85108E3. 6EDK316. 7LJL290.
What do they have in their farmers market today? Hey?
7WBV640, 7BIT423, 7NHY951, 8FWX590. LOVETJ2, 8BDK740, 7MFA262, 7FNA117, 5VAR714, 8TVE468. 7JLN832, 5LBA811, 6RXF109, 8ZTU066. Yeah. 81920W2 and 8LJN832 with minor children. I'm in Rancho Cucamonga at the Valero gas, which you can see the fake sun is directly over, and this little minion child is pacing, crossing path. It's a method of activity creation. It's also demonic. All right, and that license plate is a third-party monitoring via children. It is 8:42 a.m. And directed light inside of the gas station store, impossible light activity. These are demons monitored. Criminal summoning, 6EXJ077. Group stalking at the same Bolero where the entity's aiming directed light inside of this little liquor store. The fake sun is over and the entity amplifies sirens. This is while I'm inside on surveillance cameras inside of that Bolero. This is on, let me see, Rancho Cucamonga. What is the cross street over here?
Stop in here no more.
6R28161, criminal summoning. This is at Vineyard and Arrow. The Valero at Vineyard and Arrow. The light source is directly over the Valero, and then the entity is aiming directed light inside of the gas station. Just absolutely impossible light activity. And the entity is amplifying sirens inside. 7Z83556. That's criminal summoning, so I just want to document that. P.O.C. 8XWL098. 9AXA929, 5NVV121, I believe. 6KPD031.
2022 Subaru Ascent. Room for up to 8 passengers. Choice of captain's chairs.
6LTR638, 6JXB544. 8NRR071, JNG19CV.
So it's Panera on
8NBR071 is the correct license plate. 5CAU138, 7UNM884. C 5PRN797, 8PKW431, 8RMC172. 7RCS592. SOCLY. American Medical Response Crossing Path, Walmart Crossing Path, 7TDQ551, I believe. And I'm at Foothill in Haven at the Terra Vista Town Center. At 8:52 a.m. I just want to be clear that the sun is not remaining over that intersection of Arrow and Haven inside of the parking lot right over the venue of Haven Market. It's directly over me at the Panera Bread where I'm present right now at this time. Obviously, it's nowhere near being over the bus of Route 83 going toward the city of Chino over the Chino Transit Center as I documented yesterday, let alone over the Ovid Family Community Library, etc. This is P.O.C. Get this license plate. 8UPY776 and 7KIZ026, 6UVR068, 7LZT660. And this is documentation of what is federal stalking by an entity inside of Panera Bread. They're engaged in surveillance. A bunch of pathetic demons stalking inside of a restaurant, moving around in what is a cartoon environment under what's not even the sun. This is what the demon-possessed population engage in. And this is federal stalking by an entity in the bathroom. P.O.C. 8GMY944, 8PYY 552, 7ZSG 564, 6YLH255. Panera Bread engaged in criminal summoning. 6, I can't really see that one. 4UC Z288, 6NRW 594. D089M1, 7DSY009, 8STW 507, 8BQV 298, 38204G3.
Route 85.
8KMT 958, 6AWD 318. It's 10:37 a.m. This is Omnitrans Route 66, heading eastbound on Foothill Boulevard. This is bus number 1364.
Single fathers, single mothers, or two-parent households.
7FQF 813. 7ZIG. What kind of is 426. Excuse me, 4426 3D2. Milliken on Foothill Boulevard and Rancho. License 7PVH057. The fake sign is directly over my head on this bus number 1364, which I just took an image of. And again, the light source is not over the Rancho Montgomery Court where I remained. As I documented that, it's not anywhere in Chino, California. It's directly over me on Foothill Boulevard, 8G82206. If you recall, when I'm in Rancho at the Superior Court at 8303 Haven Avenue, the fake sun is directly over me as I capture that at 10:30 in the morning. The light source remains as I continuously remain at that courthouse documenting license plates, 7XER386. The light source is not over the courthouse, it's over Foothill Boulevard, over the bus, over my head while I'm on the bus. Okay, that's speaking to the P.O.C. as I document it, as I exposed it at that courthouse, where the entity also speaking to, again, it's nowhere near Over Family Community Library. This is the ongoing analysis. This is the specific environment where the P.O.C. is indeed underway. That's also why you have what is directed light on the bus. 9BHY 083, 9BDZ 094, 8SJB 897, V312HF. CCBOE38, that's paper. 1305129. UDL 801. Alrighty, this is license plate. Omnitrans bus that I'm on. Again, bus 1364 at Victoria Gardens, Big Sun Opening. License 1535754. And you see what is the light source that's not moving through the window of the bus. The bus moves away. The light source remains directly over me. The group stalkers who you see walking in front, they're monitoring on surveillance cameras on the Omnitrans bus, and they're monitoring right now. Maintaining presence in the path while the fake sun is over me. License plate. Eight FER 560. 8NDZ 831. 8JLB 559. 8WDL063. 8NDZ831. 7YFA990. 8RBH079. 8SZZ391. 8V57076. 6JXH353. 8EIW824. 9AYE108. 7NVT477. And these are, again, demons that are pacing around under a fake sun over me, driving all around in the parking lot, sitting in their vehicles while they know I'm on a bus, getting off, and the light source remains over. These are demons that surround, and they're monitoring with communication devices. 7VOT625. KYN470. 7MMG478. JBLOOMN. K577A0. A as in apple 0. 84122F3. 8RSF293. 7YAB513. 8MLG919. 96243C2. 9ARU125. 8YUY873. 8JJK522. 5NSG747. MRTNZ20. 8TGC109. 6PXU384. 8ESC497. Demons pacing. License 7HCM988. 7XQN755. 6WBB360. 6NKF573. Or, excuse me, 7. That starts with a 796. 7SBF987. 78EB478. 8GXD223. 5LGF247. 7MYR670. 7VMF782. Z37. I can't wait to see that. You guys have 40412P1. 7ZJH695. 30014C3. The Sheriff's Department group stalking as well. The license plate. This is federal prison. 8EHH676. They're all monitoring with law enforcement who is also group stalking. This is an entity that intends to threaten and harass while you're documenting the system that you're subject to. 7CLF67. This is the Sheriff's Department engaging in what is criminal defamation to result in kidnapping in a hospital. 8LKF649 while federal group stalking and monitoring is underway at the jail of West Valley. And at the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center where the entity engaged in a kidnapping. This is the same Sheriff's Department. This is why the people of the state go to federal prison as well. This is terrorism by people placed under surveillance in a specific environment. 8CMR926, 8ZYE748, I believe, 8VXR440, 7TQS888, 8HPX741, 7MWB764, 7MPS705, 8EPH309, 8DBC627, 8CXF128, 8WEF170, 6NAL972, license 7AWH772. See, capturing, let's see, 9BLS 464, I believe. HEROCAT 7PIT 797, 7XXK921. Oh, okay, go ahead. 7VCU 016, CD24R89, 8XFH359, 10836C2. Go ahead. 6UFT996. 8SYX 268, 7TKH 088, 7LLE 790, 7BBC 688, 8HZF 115, 7HMP 306, 54711 handicap, SA 06396. And as you can see, the Sheriff's Department is group stalking at the street sign in Rancho Cucamonga at Victoria Gardens, where I'm at Day Creek and Foothill Boulevard. And the fake sign is directly over my head. You can see it over the street sign. NX-821-028 paper. B1M8W. 9BSL 464. 444736A. 7LTL179. 7YBW090. 79023N2. 619YN handicap. That's criminal summoning. Victoria Gardens engaged in criminal summoning. Victoria Arbor is engaged in criminal summoning. This is the Best Buy over here. The Blackhorn, these license plates that I'm documenting, they're engaged in criminal summoning. That's federal prison as well. 8PGY130. 7FHY939. 6ALX790. 8LBR105. They're all engaged in criminal summoning. 8ZYU175. 8XED401. 8ATK469. 8KXB832, I believe. 7XLD401. 8CAK952. 8PEX004. 8LMN708. 8GVH127. 73652G3. 8ND, I can't see that. SCADLUS. 8PGE489. 7UEV848, 7XDK185, 8ZJN569, 3932OZ2, 8NRU233, 8EQZ380, 7AOH870, 8RKK317, 8LVV028, 2685. I can't really see that one. 7NXH181, VSQUEZ1, 8YWB594, 159253, I believe. That's the Sheriff's Department group stalking, crossing path again. They're group stalking on an ongoing basis. They're crossing path in the face of the target individual. All right, under 6LCE227, under the fake sign, while directed light is all around you. This is terrorism, and that's an impermissible threat that both the state directly and vicariously is posing. Federal prison. All right, it is, by the way, 10:55 a.m. where there is no sun over the Chino Branch Library, the parking lot, the Chino Senior Center. All those old dirt bags were group stalking under a fake sun, and they were documented just like every other minion. They'll be prosecuted just like every other minion. You can croak over in federal prison because you will be prosecuted like every other demon-possessed group stalker. And that's why I document what is an impossible presence of a light source directly over my head in Chino, California. License 8YZA948. 5FYC731, 8DQC044, CB22R55 paper, 8VAU697, D460Z1, 8YUG072, 7UQN367, 8RQW837, 8HGH717, 8SMT435, CC47E81 paper, 92280E3. Demons pacing around everywhere. Indoors, I'm showing you what's the P.O.C. Stalking with directed light, keeping a fake sun. Directed light is day and night. That's what you saw the Ontario Police doing last night, 9 a.d.m. 083. Pacing around me with directed light. And doing so, demons pacing around me using flashlights. Those are demons. And these are demons under what is that specific environment stalking. 7YDA 540, 7TFL 095, 11299Z2, 79784Z1, 7DEW 191, 9ALB 417, 7SHJ 732, 8UCR 852, 030NAO for a yellow license plate with black characters. DWP 532. All right, showing what is the fake sun center directly over the top of my head on Day Creek in Rancho Cucamonga. License plate 974ZW handicap 8GTS 822 5TWF 970 VPLNRA4 08450N3 7BFK 719 8AOD 436 9NE. I can't wait to see the use for something. 7NMT954. Alrighty, showing you what is, again, the fake sun over me, and this is the demon stalking at a red light. The directed light is all over the asphalt to the driver's side on the ground. You'll see a body of light. This is a group stalker. This is a demon. License of this demon who you see in the image, D460Z1. Monitoring with the rest of them pacing around with the same light activity, 8AHL070. Not only is this not the sun, as I'm showing you what's impossible to be while I'm in Chino, California, Ontario, California, Fontana, California, etc. That's also not sunlight. All right, it's the mark of demon possessions. The mark of demon possession and a bunch of demons pacing all around you. 8UFM938, the conduct of psychopaths and obsessed stalkers who follow into bathrooms, pacing all around you in the bathroom, stalking and monitoring. On behalf of the state, 6HCK535, and this is happening at what is Victoria Gardens in Rancho Cucamonga. It is currently 11 o'clock in the morning. JCBALL. JCBALL. Mm-hmm. 8ZJD352. License 7SRD316, 7ZJH754, 8MIP760, 9BEM462. 8PEM677, 8WMR295. These are the same demons just pacing all around with a light show around you, terrorizing, stalking you. Bunch of demons, a demon-possessed population. This is the state that's surrounding via every third party who's engaged in that demonic system, engaged in criminal monitoring. License 5VBG654, 8DGR315, 7VWB995, 7KYS214, 6RLG610, 7SOE498, 8ZRM937, 7FVE782, 8PVL369, 8ROU923, 6ZRH106, 7LVA134, 7YKR294, 8DHM326, DDGRCUB, 8HKY048, 65497F2, 2233183. I forget where that one. 7KKM116, 7WRY616, 7NLY866, 7TFW587, 367LZ handicap, 8XLP469, C 8RJL210, 7BSD299, 7HXY108, 8ZFL792, 8DRH402, 8BQL345, 7TYF838, 6RXS514, 6ALX790, 8DQC044, 6WIU798, 8UMC862, 8XDE092, 6TDU039. Let's see, I think I wrote 8DRH402, 8BQL345, 7CQE020, 8LBR105, 2BOT294, 8HFR256, 7ZBY114, 8RJ, oh, I think I might have read that, but 8RJL210, 5XUF620, 7GHT574, 8WFT435, 8XEP699, let's see, 8YGY264, see you soon. 8AOD436, 8PCP724, Brink Security monitoring as well. 7KKJ951, 6USS390, 8NVY358. Brink Security, this is a demon operating a company you can readily identify, engaging in state surveillance and terrorism. This is a demon using that commercial vehicle, using that Brink Security vehicle. 8 U.S.C 603 to engage in what is flashing light conduct, which is demonic. It's occurring under the fake sun. You're not engaging in any business, you're engaged in state surveillance, and you're prosecuting that company as well. License 8 UEL 221. Already, Brink Security molesting my person. This is a sex offender. I'm going to prosecute Brink Security in that regard while they're touching. 8GWS578. And they're a sex offender that's touching while they know that I'm documenting their criminal activity. A very violent sex offender. Monitoring with the people of the state. Demons molesting with directed light. The fake son is right over me at this T-Mobile. The address is 7811 inside of Victoria Gardens at 11:05 a.m. The entity's fake son is over me in Chino, California. 8FDH274. The entity's fake son is directly over me at the same exact time on June 16, 2022, where this entity engaged in kidnapping at 11:05 a.m. It's directly over the entrance of the Ovid Family Community Library, where the demon-possessed Ontario Police Department, in the same way that they were stalking last night in a bunch of vehicles, heavy presence while they're stalking. 47JQL, that's Florida, in directed light. They're stalking in directed light. That's what they're doing at Ovid Family Community Library at 11:05 a.m., where the fake son remains over the entrance of that library at 215 East C Street. That's what Brink Security is engaging in with the people of the state, and Brink Security is a violent sex offender engaged in state surveillance and terrorism. 6ZYJ512, 7TXB645, 7WBS556, 7TXR645, let me make sure I read that correctly. 6VMP570, 6601, 7E3. 7VZD881, yeah. All right, BV19, I'll get that in a second. 8UHP615 is a group stalker. You see a demon, fake son directly over me while they're crossing the path. BV19Y58, that's a paper plate on a white Maserati. A demon group stalking, monitoring me, stalking me in a Maserati. That's what you need to understand about Satan. All right, there's no honor. There's nothing impressive about them. They're stalking obsessively. 8GEP078. That's why they're reaching out toward me with directed light. They want to touch. They're following all around. Their demons pacing all around. I am the obsession. All right, this is what group stalking is. And that is an obsession that an entity does not want you to know about. And an entity that's engaged in that obsessive stalking also wants to falsely defame the target individual as suffering from some mental incapacity while you document and you witness that entirely demented stalking activity amongst the people. 7FDT794. This is a black-faced, bald-headed minion monitoring with a communication device with law enforcement. 9AED235, 53927. And it is currently 11:07 a.m. This is the same street where I was at Victoria Gardens in the evening while these demons are pacing around. After 6 p.m., after I exit the library, the fake son is in the same position as I'm capturing it, walking to the same library. That is Paul Bayan Library, City of Rancho Cucamonga. 02932M3, 5ZJX039, HAYMAN5, 7CNC568. CC74C27 paper, 8RWL944. 16636G2, 8GHM217, 8ANT761, 8UDU287, 8XXC307, 7LEJ443, 8VUU321, 6WZV902, 8ZGD699, 8, oh, I already read that one. 7WNF722, 8PEM3, excuse me, 8PEM383, 8JY017, I believe, 8JYL017, 7YJP093, 8GJE337, 8JJJ194, MULELDY, 8NMW403, 9ATJ887, 8RAE915, Yard House at the address is 12473. Group stalking, stalking with light activity. The Forever 21 inside of Victoria Gardens, stalking with light. 7 PSG017, loitering in front of that venue. Forever 21 is engaged in that criminal activity with the people. That's why the fake sun is over Forever 21 while I'm standing in front of it. 8 UHD 903, 5 MSZ 467. That's why directed light occurs inside of the venues. It's not, you're talking about what is complicity, what is revealing, what is an ongoing existing system that is very broad, wide-reaching. License, BW31F96 paper. Alrighty, looking at what is group stalking, standing around, maintaining presence at a mall. You're standing around in relevant position, crossing path. A fake sun remains over you, directed light surrounds you, and the entity is present through every single last one of them. These are demons that are engaged in this state surveillance. This is criminal monitoring. It is, and I captured that. You're looking at that at 11:11 a.m. I took pictures of that. What they're doing is engaging in crossing a path. All right, so you're not on a freeway where cars are crossing path. I'm walking in a mall, so demons are crossing path on foot, just standing around, maintaining presence, operation of their communication devices as well. Fake sun, directed light, stalking on behalf of the state. All right, P.O.C. at what is the Paul Bine Library, where the entity's fake sun is directly over me now, and at 5:52 p.m. it's over me while I walk out of the library. It's remaining hours from now over the parking lot as I walk out the back part of the library in that same position over the top of my head through the window at 5:45 p.m. Of the same library. It is currently 11:12 a.m. This is P.O.C. Amplified audible activity inside of the bathroom and demonic pacing in the bathroom. These are the sex offenders of the Paul Bine Library, City of Rancho Cucamonga. The demons congregating in the bathroom. This is P.O.C. They're under the fake sun and indirect light. This is how they're maintaining audible activity. It's 1:31 p.m. Alrighty, those are the demons that are sex offenders, stalking, pacing in the bathroom. And the tactic literally was just a gang of them fill the bathroom together. It's deliberate presence. It's under a fake sun and indirected light. And they're monitoring in that bathroom. And I will capture the fake sun who remains here. They're all monitoring in a bathroom together. Alrighty, that is, again, the city of Rancho Cucamonga, sex offenders stalking in a bathroom, congregating in the bathroom, pacing, the same demonic pacing where they're molesting with direct light while I'm outside, while I'm on the bus, while I'm in a car. They are inside of a bathroom, pacing around and monitoring with communication devices. And this is occurring in a specific environment. Literally, that event that you hear, this is a bunch of demons engaging in what is sexual violence while they then congregate in a bathroom, anticipating my presence, aware of exactly who I am. That's why you have that impossible environment. And these are very disturbed. These Rancho Cucamonga demons, they're very, very sick. Okay. By sick, I mean they are as freaky, weird, demented as any other minions. A group of minions that I've documented coming to Rancho Cucamonga is showing what is the ongoing condition in that specific environment where there is no exception to it. All right, and that's what is group stalking in the bathroom as I document it right now. The fake sun is directly over the entrance where it was upon my entrance this morning, 11 o'clock. That is speaking to, again, by the way, what is impossible to be the case. That's non-movement of the light source, but that's still the case again at 5:45 p.m. It's seen through the window of this same library. That is literally understanding what is the purpose of the presence in that bathroom, and they're doing so as a large group, pacing in and out. These are demons that are stalking in the bathroom. That's literally what they're doing, and that's what you're understanding that system. While they are witnessing me publish the evidence of their sexual violence, which is criminal monitoring on behalf of the state. They're in there while the entity's amplifying audible activity, so it's sounding like there's an earthquake in there while they're just filling up the bathroom. And this is one demon going into a stall after another, one after another, they're pacing. All right, using everything in the bathroom as a means of ongoing constant audible activity while the entirety of the venue, Victoria Gardens, which is a sex offender, Victoria Gardens is a group stalker. All right, this is the venue where state surveillance and terrorism is underway. And that is the sex offender engaging in what is stalking, monitoring an American citizen, following them, pursuing them, engaging in that predatory conduct inside and around what is a private space. And that's why you have what is a light source that's nowhere near the Ovid Family Community Library. It is not over the roof of the Upland Public Library. It is not over my head through the window of Omnitrans while I'm en route to Fontana, California, coming from Chino, California, coming from Pomona, California. It is not remaining over the Ontario Museum of History and Arts while I arrive there at 1:45 p.m. as I've documented as well. It is not remaining over the B&G Plaza, over the parking lot, over the top of my head. It is not remaining over the Chino Branch Library in the city of Chino, over that entrance area as I walk in and out, showing the fake sun for the duration of the day. It's directly over the entrance, over the top of my head where it was as I walked into this library today, and this library being the Paul Bryan Library in Rancho Cucamonga. And those are demons that are engaging and congregating in a library, in the library's restroom for purposes of ongoing surveillance, monitoring with communication devices. And this is that sick conduct, a bunch of hollow zombies that are the demon-possessed pacing around in that bathroom. That is sexual violence and criminal monitoring. Okay, so I want to make sure that you're connecting all the dots because you're understanding what they're doing when you're looking at what is that impossible environment. It's serving that exact precise purpose. That's why it's there, and that's what they're doing. It's 1:39 p.m. This is P.O.C. I want to make sure I document sex offenders by name. It's not just the venue. These are sex offenders at the circulation desk, monitoring with the people of the state, with the state of California, engaging in sexual violence with children, those under the age of majority, facilitating that state system, engaging in what is terrorism, which is Karen. This is a state actor. This is a Rancho Cucamonga City Library. So this is an employee engaging in criminal monitoring, a sex offender monitoring while my panties are down in the bathroom. Her name is Karen. She's a Caucasian female. I believe her last name is Karen Simon or Karen Sims. Karen S. Her last initial is S. And Nancy, she's also at the circulation desk. These are sex offenders engaging in criminal monitoring. They're demons, and they are present while the entity engages in what is ongoing amplified audible activity, aiming directed light into the venue as I've shown, keeping a fake sun over the venue, and they are engaging in what is that predatory and sexually violent conduct of criminally monitoring, stalking, terrorizing demons pacing around. Karen and Nancy are monitoring with those demons in that bathroom. Alrighty, I want to be clear. It is 1:41 p.m. I want to show you what is demonic and impossible light activity. Look at all of my, these are two hands upright and on the floor. And then here's a shadow. And then here's another shadow over here. Okay, double shadows. This is called directed light. And these are demons that fill the Paul Bunyan library. Demons that were stalking in the bathroom. Demons that are stalking in the bathroom with knowledge of the fact that their predatory conduct is being documented, speaking to the level of sexual violence. This is directed light where they are pacing around in the bathroom. This is entirely terrorizing while demons engage in group stalking in the private space. And this is an example of what they are all engaging in surveillance in. This is P.O.C, using children to engage in activity creation. This is Satan looking the opposite direction, engaging in group stalking with law enforcement. Method of noise creation and engineered light. Psychopaths. P.O.C. Monitoring. It is currently, by the way, in directed light inside of the Paul Bunyan library where the entity is monitoring. It's 2:09 p.m. They're monitoring with communication devices, a violation of federal law. And this is also to be prosecuted as a sex offense, being molested with what is engineered light while an entity is obsessively stalking you, following into bathrooms. I have one arm. This is for Shepherd Shadows. This is impossible light activity. That is not light that occurs from what is normal light. Okay? This is P.O.C. All right, and that is documenting the sex offenders engaging in that obsessive stalking in the bathroom. All right, you're looking at what is the exact same formula. This is engineered light, as I captured in the video, and you have what is the appearance of shadows in abnormal places. This is the trajectory of light. This is how normal human beings would reconcile the light activity. But this is demonic conduct, and so understand this is supernatural, where you're having shadows appear, multiple shadows appearing underneath. Again, that's not only is it multiple shadows, it's appearing on all surfaces, the wall, the floor, both sides, underneath the partition of the desk. It's also occurring underneath what is a desk. That's not light activity that's going to occur at that area, okay? That's demonic. All right, this is speaking to demons that surround, and they are engaged in what is the pacing conduct. They are doing so over and under the age of majority. This is entirely creepy conduct. This is what the sex offender does in the bathroom as well. This is the state's conduct. This is the state system, and you have doing so with simultaneity to what I'm doing on the internet. This is the criminal monitoring by the demon possessed engaging in surveillance, and they are engaged in what is maintaining presence all around inside of the venue that is the Paul Bunyan Library. So you have what is this light activity and demon after demon, as they do in vehicles with directed light. They're crossing paths repeatedly wherever it is that I'm seated, and this is that ongoing demonic pacing that's underway inside of the venue. All right, that's the significance of what is, again, that demonic environment, which is surrounded with the evidence of what is, again, not that natural environment. This is not the sun that's remaining over. That's also not sunlight, that concentrated light that's present. And you're also looking at that light activity, the multiplicity of shadows, while the entity that is the city of Rancho Cucamonga, the Paul Bunyan Library, as you're going to prosecute for this criminal conduct, you're also going to prosecute for what is criminal activity with a government, terrorism, in concert with those under the age of majority. That's the significance of what I'm documenting. Engaging in what is sexual violence in concert with those under the age of majority. And this is this light activity coincides with what is demonic behavior, which is the harassment and terrorism by demons who stalk with noise. So they're engaging, like you saw in the video, crumpling up the paper. This is noise and engineered light. That's the conduct of a demon, and this is what an entity is doing on an ongoing, constant basis. In concert, they're all acting together, surrounding with ongoing, continuous noise, while the entity is also just creating what is ongoing, amplified noise, just inexplicable, just loud, boom, bang, while demons are pacing all around you, entirely demented. Okay, it is currently 3:29 p.m. and this is the P.O.C. as I'm capturing it. The entity is engaging in what is harassment. This is a molestation because you're being covered with engineered light while you're subject to surveillance. And then you have these psychopaths. These are demons pacing all around. Psychopath, demonic conduct is not limited to the age of majority, and that's exactly what you're witnessing as I'm documenting it. Alrighty, this is P.O.C. VVE323. These are sex offenders. These are demons who are slaying shadows around inside of the library, and then they are stalking in the bathroom. Very, very demented group that are the people of the state of California. This is demon possession. This is that demonic targeting system. And those are those sex offenders that engage in that molestation, for example, with directed light, demonic activity. And then you're understanding what is terrorism and the sex offender. Those demons engaging in that demented conduct then surround you and follow you and surround the bathroom, knowing what you're doing inside of that private space. AGZH14 is a sex offender as well. 7TQK711, 7WAA642. They have engaged in ongoing systematic molestation. And so inside, I've shown you the directed light that's appearing through the aisles of the library, and absolutely ridiculously impossible light. I mean, just ridiculous. By ridiculous, it's just a glaring terrorism. You're talking about the work of Satan. You're talking about all the methods that are demonic. This is terrorism, and while you're subject to surveillance. But it is also speaking to what is criminal conduct that you're subject to, and while an entity is blatantly communicating that you're subject to that by directed light that fills a venue, while it is also monitoring your documentation, that is then the sex offender that follows you into bathrooms and they're pacing around in engineered light. All right, BA 533 handicap, these are sex offenders. 8 NUJ 612, including the Victoria Gardens police substation. Those are sex offenders stalking with the minions that are filling the bathroom. That's the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department. 7XPW 976, 8YYU 129, 8JSD 532, 7KCV 362, 8CNH 335, 4MUU 992, 8KXN 086, 8NLL 352, 8LMC 373, 5CDR 804, 7TQM 166, 8LMC 373, 7WWA 886, CB44V37, 8UUR 510, 8PTH 809, 8FFR 083, 8YGK 235, 5KJT 618. These are all demons who are now in a parking garage driving around pacing in directed light. 8PTH 809, 8YNP 292, 7DFF 238, 8SOY 018, 7MOD 406, 6YTR 608, 6XXL 783, 4AMA 973, 8XCB 081. The sex offender 7ROT 319, 7GIG 585, 9BLP 778, 7GIG 585, 7ZFZ 408, 6XMA 845, 8YEV 662, 6TCS 413, 6XMA 845, 9AQD 622, 8EXV 205, 6TCS 413, 7RWE 155, 8EXV 205, 7JXT 458, LVA 2Z, 8BHM 517, AV62T95, 8EJW 834, 6ZXG 532, 8KZJ 912, 8CYC 333, 8FPS 794, 61923T1, 8UVH 641, 7YXJ 467, 8XTS 819, 8JHN 078, 7BIS 873, 7GEV 477, 8WDR 320, 8VKC 100, 8DJP 457, 6BVY 988, 8URK 811, 8UNP 947, 5FVS 091, 5KJT 618, 7BWV 201, 8UNP 129, 7VJB 229, 8URK 811. I think I wrote that one. License 8MOR 470. This is a sex offender. And this is a demon-possessed sex offender. All of them are. I want to make sure I clarify that. 8MXN 295. FR 762 handicap, 8WDT 851, directed light on the roof of the parking garage like a light show while they're walking and driving around. These are the demons stalking in the bathroom. 8ZFS 965, that's entirely terrorizing while your panties are down and demons are surrounding and they're invading your privacy on behalf of the government. 8YSS 701, 6TPP 881, 8MXN 280, 7LJF F07. 7JLF 607, 8DGS 873, 8GWK 329, 8GPX 644. Everything that you are hearing is for that purpose of monitoring. They're in directed light. They're using the sounds of ignitions. They're using the sounds of any acceleration, using conversation, using alarms, using the lights from their vehicles, pacing around the parking garage, all in directed light under the fake sun. License 8WKH 172, 7BTY 727, 6AGU 817, 8DUR 312, 8AQE 074, 8LEB 410, FIRE 06, 8JFD 166, 7PWT 584, 7RHF 836, I think I read 8PEV427, yeah. 8GSG614, 8R84303, 7KYV998, 7FJM376, RLYBAKR, 8NNV602, 6LCE227, 8Y, oh yeah, I read that one already. 8ZKV338, 8XCB081, 8ZKV338, 5WSG603, 8PTG083, 6PKD271, 6XDS885, 8PSH339, 6PQS978, 7NVN633, 8PRG394, 8VJZ595, 7BCN083, 7WNK816, 6YJE036, 8WJW996, and they're doing so with children. Stalking, molesting, terrorizing. Directed light fills this parking garage. Monitoring while my panties are down. Doing so with children. 5CDR804. These are demons pacing out of the parking garage in directed light. 5LYL276. And they're monitoring, representing law enforcement. Okay, this is federal prison. 8KXN086, engaging in what is that, sexual violence together. This one going out of their way to touch me with light. 8JFD166, and I'll prosecute them for that. It is, by the way, currently 6:08 p.m. License plate. This is an African-American male. Directed light across the roof of the parking garage while he's crossing path. 6TCS413. And it's 6:08 a.m. Excuse me, 6:08 p.m. This is naming a lot of offenders at one time. That's what group stalking is. It's mass criminal conduct occurring amongst the population, demon possession. And this is what this demonic environment is about. And that's how you have what is not possibly the sun over the Pauline Library. It's literally over the parking garage, aiming impossible light through the parking garage area where demons are pacing all around me. It is 6:09 p.m. This is a sex offender monitoring me while my panties are down, 7HMA855, and molesting with directed light, in operation of a communication device. License 7FBJ639, 8CJD292, XIMIL, 8YBR235, 8YBC354. And this is what they were doing all day inside of the Pauline Library, walking around, as I showed you the light activity, underneath the desk, okay? While demons pace around me in the library, their shadows appearing not on the ground. Their shadows were appearing on the wall in front of me as they walked behind, okay? Impossible light activity, right? And the entity is keeping a fake sun over the library. These are demons pacing around me. This is terrorism. Then those demons are stalking in the bathroom. They're literally following into the bathroom as a population, following everywhere that you go in that specific environment. And these are psychopaths that are pacing all around, circling all around you everywhere you go all the time. And that's what they're doing in a parking garage. 8YBR235, 8UNP947, 8PTKO39, 8HTK451, GNGRM3X. 7FBJ639, 8SVD466, 8AJJ883, 8UNN652, 7BOE907, 8PON631, URYIHP, 8FTU333, 6UUP975, 9ADP204, 6KUM209, 8TLB458, 8YBL475, 8YKY943, 9ARM666, MIDADIA, 7LGV337, T41OUO, CD15N56, paper, 5KLS045, And 8PON631, this is a Latino male engaged in surveillance, a demon-possessed group stalker who is also molesting me with directed light, touching my person, and also engaged in invasion of privacy knowledge and engaging in ongoing operative knowledge of what's going on as a demon, as a third party, engaging in criminal surveillance with the state, and as a demon-possessed entity, monitoring while my panties are down, in other words. This is P.O.C. 98RM666, 8TLB458, 8YBL475, 7UHG137, 9ADV586, 7DVY837, 8BZB656, 58525G3, 8YYB872, IIRNMAN, 8RED815, 6UEZ637, 7WIW440, 8ZPZ143, 7SHJ732, CD21E63, 8MZR643, 5RGJ370, 6XAL596, IMIWNN2, 9ATV550, 7LBM818, 7ZOY193, 4RPK286, 5KLS045, 8ZCJ349, 8RSU509, 8VPX017, 7ZJE597, 6WKW428. Those are demons engaging in surveillance. They begin walking as I walk past them. That's the demonic behavior pattern. They're violent sex offenders. These are demons. 8KZY963, 7ZJE597, 8WZZ394, 8PTW438, 8ZAL639, 8GLD098, 7RNZ116, 8YLW188, 6BIL528, 7UGN900, 72689B2, 7UBV881, 8UFT904, 6XST862, MO38UO, 8PDC757, 80247U1, BF78C70 paper, 8SLW757, 7YTR459, 8XDX570, 7ZOW086, 8LPT246, BW23E49 paper, 8XDX751, in case I did not read that one, 6AWJ631, 8WAS223, 5ZGG350, 7XBS736, 6ZQA498, 7CSE208, 8LWK467, 8PNJ237, 8WGW191, 6WDP679, 8CJJ886, 77996H3, 7CLE697, 01624L2, 25899B3, 6SMD258, 7HCB589, 6APJ346, 8AMC761, 8YHH400, 8GJB938, 7CDL971, 00203E3, 8JOU569, 8PNJ237, 8BLX907, 8SJJ243, in case I didn't read that. All right, capturing what is impossible light activity, directed light, and what is the fake sun while I am at Victoria Gardens. This is Rancho Cucamonga. This is off of what is the same day Creek Foothill Boulevard. The sun would never be present over the same venue where I arrived in the morning. Not only that, it's over the, you can clearly see the Victoria Gardens sign. You're talking about even if getting off the bus on Foothill, the entity's light source is remaining, and this is where demons are stalking in the bathroom. Showing you impossible light activity in the depths of the parking garage. These are demons that are group stalking in a parking garage, and it's exactly what they're doing in the bathroom, which shall be very serious federal charges for the state and for the people of the state. And for those sex offenders that are, and again, you're slicing down sex offenders that have children, that are in custody of minors, that are engaging in the pattern of conduct with minors in any way. This is directly relevant to what is going to be very serious legislation dealing with the sex offense that are the demon-possessed, placing American citizens under surveillance, a sex offense while they're touching, engaging in their demonic system, molesting you with directed light, which is what you're subject to, which is exactly what I just took pictures of. I am literally inside of a parking garage, and I'm showing you what's my shadow upright, my hands up in the air. You can see that. And I'm showing you what are group stalkers, and they're demon possessed. That's exactly how you know Satan. All right. You're looking at them crossing path, pacing around me. In other words, they're the hollow zombies present in that environment, chit chatting like they're doing something else, like they're concerned about their children. They're not. It's audible activity and directed light. 8RDZ425. 8NUJ612, 8JSD532, 7UFH669, and moreover, they're violent sex offenders monitoring me while my panties are down. That's what those demons are focused on, right? That's a threat to those children. They're also a threat to the lives of American citizens whom they're placing under surveillance, and as I'm documenting that for you. It is currently 6:18 p.m. That's criminal summoning of every license plate that I just read. That's grounds of federal prison. Just want to be clear on that. The entity sounding sirens under a fake sun over a Victoria Gardens. I was here this morning. That's P.O.C. All right, this African-American male engaged in criminal summoning as well. Read his license plate. The Rancho with the Victoria Gardens Police Substation, the Sheriff's Department, they're engaged in criminal summoning as well. 8SHP000, 7TQK711, 7WAA642. This is noise and engineered light. That's what the significance of that is. In the same way that the demon that you saw in the video today, where I was showing you 5 shadows of my hand as I'm looking underneath the desk, and he starts crumpling up paper, that's a demon making noise and engineered light. Outside, an iteration of the same demonic conduct, the malice of demons who are stalking you, and you don't know the substance of what they're doing around you, you don't know their condition, the maintenance of noise and engineered light while they are present. That's group stalking, criminal monitoring. 8RQR113, 988K015, and outside, doing it on a massive manner, sirens. Sirens attributed to the very state that is placing you under surveillance and doing so vicariously through the demon-possessed entity that are the people of the state. Third parties, group stalkers. WXA, that's a license plate with 3 characters, WXA. 7HEH749, 6HRC865. 7PHT752, 76107R2. I love when they take their license plates off. Let me get a picture of the VIN number of this vehicle. No license plate on the front or back. 8MWX658, 76107R2, MAGOCHI. This old crusty white minion is 8AGU654, 8RKD054, 7HSM307, 8XEB736. 8GJJ748. So while I'm standing also, so this is the big picture, this is what I'm saying, you're literally capturing the demonic for you when you're looking at what is directed light that's appearing in the shade, creating another shadow as I step into that directed light while the directed light is appearing in the shade. That's levels upon levels of demonic. Okay. Nonetheless, you have what is the fake sun as I'm capturing images of that, standing from the vantage point of the parking garage behind the library, the Paul Bryan Library in Rancho Cucamonga. I walked to that library this morning, the fake sun over my head while I'm passing by the demons of Brink's security, stalking with light activity, fake sun over the T-Mobile, fake sun over my head on Day Creek. This is the same venue, and the fake sun is over that location, capturing the demonic. 8WUT741. It is literally impossible. All right, and that impossibility, as I'm capturing it, because the impossible is happening in violation of science, right? What we're told about the environment. Well, guess what? I'm documenting what is not possibly reconcilable with so-called scientific facts. That is the P.O.C. All right, license plate. And you're supposed to be defamed when the target individual doesn't have evidence speaking to what they're subject to by demons. 8LEK439, 7GIG786, 8VA8611. That's why they're going to federal prison. Understand, group stalking is going to be legislated and prosecuted as the serious criminal conduct that it is by government. 8BND037. Oh, just Satan just engaging in lawlessness, and it's not enough that the entity is stalking and harassing and terrorizing you. All right, as a matter of what you are, just a matter of your existence, in violation of your constitutional rights in this country and your human rights just as a person. All right, but you have what is then, the entity is not content with that. The entity wants to then defame you. The entity wants to take your freedom. If you are even becoming aware of it, or even if you're not aware of it, the entity is engaging in this sort of, you are subject to harassment and terrorism even when you don't know what the source is. You're actually subject to the P.O.C. and you're actually thinking that you're losing your mind. All right, and actually you're subject to what is demonic activity. Satan targeting you, and you don't know. And it's not just them following you around and targeting you in your life. They're monitoring you in violation of federal law. They're placing you under surveillance. That's the P.O.C. That's the totality of the P.O.C. This is why you will be going to federal prison. You want to be a group stalker? You're talking about what is grounds of federal prison by default, federal prison, and going into mental institutions. removing those threats from the public. 8WAE889. And why? The core is demonic, okay? This is demonic activity. This is with regard to what is, ever heard of the term rapture? Well, this is with regard to what is actually the rapture. This is an awakening as to the condition of those around you. GKA5NE, that's what this is about. 037YST, that's what the rapture is. The rapture is an awakening to 6RUP921, to the spiritual beings that we actually are, by the way. We are more spirit than you are physical, even though we focus on the physical. This is about an awakening about the reality of one's condition. And it is relevant about another's condition, which you are capable to know as a matter of objective evidence relevant for purposes of prosecuting in a federal court, a government placing you under surveillance. But it is also that which you are capable of knowing beyond a shadow of a doubt, while you are subject to what is demonic conduct, those that are of that condition around you in your life. It doesn't matter what their name is. They could be in your family. This is for your own knowledge as well. That's what the rapture is about. It's about an awakening. That's what this is about, waking up and becoming aware of, knowing what is that which is otherwise a mystery, what Satan would love to keep anonymous, to keep covert, to keep concealed, because you are more of a threat when you are woken up. I want to be clear on that. And that's what the rapture is. It's not going to be the end of the world. It's the end of what is Satan's ability to exercise what is power. Where does power come from? Because Satan doesn't actually have it. It exists in secrecy. There is no secret. I'll tell you all about these minions. I'll tell you exactly what they're doing. And I'm going to prosecute it. And I'm going to make it a matter of massive public information. All right, in every way obliterating what is no power that Satan has, no authority. It already doesn't have an authority. You're talking about what is a matter of an expiration date with regard to what Satan has been doing for a prolonged period. 7LJU435, and many are bound to the pits of hell. Many. These are minions. All right, these are minions, and I know them personally. By them, I mean I'm related to minions. Okay, I was raised by a minion. Sibling is a minion. There was a point where I was ignorant of it. And now I know, and even in hindsight, I knew before I knew what I knew, if that makes sense. But anyway, you're talking about what is an awakening as to the spiritual beings that are all of us. That's what this is about. In addition to that, you're talking about a prosecution for exceedingly egregious criminal activity by a government. The government has no right to stalk you in a bathroom, to place you under surveillance, to kidnap you. You're operating as a fraud when you're engaging in that. So you're talking about a whole litany of criminal activity that a government is subject to, that a government is engaging in when you are placed under surveillance. It's a fallacy of free society. All right? This is the P.O.C. It's 6:26 p.m. 5ZYN284.
That's 844 new career, or go online
CD51Z27. Unity flying over Foothill Boulevard by helicopter, which is what American Medical Responses Group Stalking, what I want you to hear. American Medical Responses Group Stalking. Helicopter flew over the street, directed light while that demon is operating an ambulance. License 10031S2. P.O.C. Fake sign is right in front of me through the windshield at Rochester Foothill. It's P.O.C. 7 p.m. That's criminal summoning. 7FCN515 60421F3 53574X2. Again, that's CD51Z27. That's a paper plate. 7YBR297. Amazon Prime crossing path as well. 6UCH629.
We see the limitless potential in you. But what does
8GZT683.
limitless?
The Ontario Police stalking in helicopter at the same location where I was at last night, where officers, the demons Jay Burnett, that's impossible light activity moving across a home while they are driving at a distance. Headlights are not reaching this direction. That's a demon stalking in a helicopter. That's the Ontario Police. These are the demon possessed, stalking everywhere as I documented them today, even as I went to Rancho Cucamonga. This is P.O.C. This is terrorism by a demon-possessed entity engaging in what is group stalking, which is satanic. And it is in concert and on behalf of the Ontario Police, and that's why the people of the state directed light again on 325 West G Street. just like they were monitoring with the Ontario Police last night, aiming their flashlights inside of this vehicle where the entity is stalking. They're doing so while the entity is stalking by helicopter. Not flying over the museum, okay? Flying over here in directed light. That's a demon that's crossing path. You've got directed light that's on this house 325. That's a demon that is group stalking in plain sight. Okay, this is P.O.C. This is demonic activity. That is, again, the Ontario Police Department that shall be disbanded as I continuously demonstrate their ongoing obsessive stalking. And they're doing so with the demon-possessed entity, the people of the state. Woodside Senior Apartments is monitoring the people of the state in relevant position. They live in relevant position. This is state surveillance underway. This is P.O.C. It is currently 9:36 p.m. All right, this is demonic pacing. Just like I show you the people of the state do in directed light, that's what the demons of the Ontario Police Department are doing. They're pacing in the sky space above me in relevant position, group stalking. This is P.O.C. This is seconds later. This is ongoing terrorism. Let me be clear, it's 9:38 p.m. That is directed light while a demon is crossing path, in a helicopter. The people of the state are group stalking with the Ontario Police Department. They're going to federal prison. I've identified the Ontario Police Department officers by badge number. They're going to federal prison, and they're monitoring with the people of the state. Let me be clear, federal prison for the demon-possessed entity that lives at 325 West G Street, just like I documented this morning, where they're stalking with the Ontario Police Department. Flying over me by helicopter, they are stalking with the Ontario Police Department. Parking in the middle of the street, those demons pacing around me, aiming flashlights inside of the car in directed light, they are stalking with the Ontario Police Department. 630 North Fern, documented this morning, they are stalking with the Ontario Police Department. 7CVF583, 6W53229, they're monitoring with these demons who are pacing. That's impossible light activity, has nothing to do with headlights. They're pacing around in directed light. That's what the Ontario Police Department is doing in a helicopter. And this is federal prison as I'm documenting license plates. BSDNA 77, 6XXT119. I want you to pay attention here. There's a shadow. There's a shadow. This is directed light. That's a demon stalking in a helicopter, the Ontario Police Department. This is pacing. This is what they're doing inside of the Paul Bryan Library in directed light. This is the pattern of conduct, which is demonic activity. It's criminal monitoring, violation of federal law. The Ontario Police Department, again, demonstrating why I will be disbanding this police department. And that's going to be general policy for group stalking as you're prosecuting it across this country. This is P.O.C. and the people of the state are subject to federal prison as well. This is a sex offense that I'll also be prosecuting the Ontario Police Department for, molesting me as they are demons practicing their satanic targeting system, molesting my body. This is touching with directed light. This is P.O.C. Stalking me in a helicopter. That's how much of a priority I am. That's the truth. That's Satan. This is P.O.C.
All right, I did capture 2 videos. These are videos demonstrating the ongoing stalking, the ongoing obsessive stalking. This is terrorism by the Ontario Police following me where it is that I'm located in a helicopter, pacing around. This is demonic pacing. These are demons that are the Ontario Police Department engaging in what is group stalking with the people of the state. This is what I capture in video. You're looking at what is directed light. You're looking at what is the pattern of stalking in that directed light. You're witnessing what is demonic conduct as I'm showing you the same exact demonic activity, which is the system of group stalking. It is criminal monitoring. That's what group stalking is. It's a criminal monitoring system. It is state surveillance and terrorism, as it is properly referred to. And the entity is flying over, and 2 videos is what I capture. The entity is doing so as I am seeking to access the internet also. That's what I am also subject to. The entity immediately sounds helicopter. The entity is always stalking, okay? The entity sounds helicopter activity, flies and circles around me as I log on to internet, which is monitoring conduct as well. But nonetheless, I want to document the entity is molesting with directed light while I sit inside of the vehicle. That is the Ontario Police Department, the Ontario International Airport that are engaged in that sex offense. The people of the state, as I'm documenting, for example, the people of the state at 325 West G Street in Ontario, California, engaged in that sex offense while they are monitoring. And that is the entity that's engaging in that as one. I'm speaking to what is the identification of a facilitating venue where you are not protected inside of your residence where you live. It's a facilitating venue. State surveillance is underway. And you are monitoring with the police who are stalking, a pattern of specifically stalking me where I am located and what is, not just where I'm located, but the specific environment exists where it is that I'm located, where the entity is stalking, notably in helicopters, all right, with the people of the state. The same demonic pacing. You're seeing how the entity is doing this in the library. You're seeing how the entity is doing it while I'm on public transportation. You're seeing how the entity is doing it while I'm walking outside.
The entity is engaging in what is keeping directed light while demons pace all around you. That is a psychopath. It is terrorism on its face while an entity is stalking you in helicopters and planes. Okay, it is terrorism while an entity is stalking you as a group. This is what group stalking is, what the people of the state are. It is terrorism while they are of the specific condition of demon possession, which is also a matter of objective evidence, as I've shown you the demonic tactics underway while they are engaged in group stalking, which is satanic. And I want to document that. These are 2 videos that I captured, and it is currently, by the way, right now, where the entity is. That's the same Ontario Police Department that engaged in kidnapping. Like I said, this is exactly what was underway while they engaged in kidnapping at the Arrowhead Regional Medical Center, at the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, while they are still engaged in group stalking, while the entity is stalking using flashlights, walking around the vehicle. That's exactly what Jay Burnett was doing last night with his demon-possessed partner, stalking me. And I am the entire focus, and that's also why you have what is impossible light activity while they are engaged in blatant stalking. That ongoing obsession by a police department is terrorism. All right, that inexplicable level of obsession, and you are indeed obsessed. That's what stalking is all about. This is what is group stalking amongst a demon-possessed entity. It is currently 10 p.m. and the entity is, that's the Ontario Police Department, while parked outside of what is 325 West G Street. The 7-Eleven at 636 North Vine is engaged in group stalking. This is an ongoing massive sex offense, aiming directed light inside of the car, which has nothing to do with what our headlights. This is directed light in the same way that lights inside of a building has nothing to do with having 5 shadows, as I'm showing you directed light underneath the desk at the Paul Bryan Library, has nothing to do with what is the sun as it remains over that venue for the duration of the day. This is a demonic environment. This is demonic activity, and this is a demonic criminal monitoring system, and that's what the Ontario Police Department are engaging in. So this is the Ontario Police Department that, again, June 16, 2022, this is exactly what they were doing, stalking, while they then engaged in what is kidnapping, abusing authority under the law, which they don't have, while they're engaged in state surveillance and terrorism, and you're going to prosecute for that. The same exact stalking conduct and terrorism is underway at the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, exercising fictitious authority, where criminals that are kidnapping you are then engaging in what is facilitation at a courthouse where the same state system is underway, which I have also thoroughly documented. Just the other day, as a matter of fact, where the sun is not possibly over the Ovitt Family Community Library at the same time, when I'm in Rancho Cucamonga, standing at the doorsteps of the Rancho Cucamonga Superior Court, and that light source is directly over my head, where also the entity is stalking by helicopter. All right, this is speaking to that ongoing system. While the entity is engaged in ongoing obsessive stalking, it is literally the prosecution of the entire entity, because you're seeing what is that specific pattern, and doing so as an entity working together. 8CXT 401, molesting, monitoring with the, that's Union Pacific, which is audible activity. They are molesting with directed light inside of the car, crossing path, which is that demonic pacing around me, where an entity is focused on the location where I'm at. This is the sex offender that's doing that as I'm documenting it inside of the bathrooms where I go. That is the private space where an entity is engaging in state surveillance and terrorism. All right, it is currently, let me get this demon. License plate 6LRC 812. They are pacing around the vehicle while I am documenting, and they're doing so on behalf of the Ontario Police, who are stalking by helicopter. This is P.O.C. at 10:02 p.m. LRC 812, pacing, directed light moving across 325 West G Street, and demons that are walking outside, they're walking in directed light. They're using their vehicles pacing around in directed light, while the entity that is the Ontario Police is stalking in a helicopter. This is P.O.C. That's federal prison, or as I read their license plates, these are third parties, identification of third parties, identifying themselves as such, and they're going to federal prison under that identification. They are the people of the state, though. They're engaging in that on behalf of an entity who will be prosecuted for that ongoing terrorism. And this is 10:03 p.m.